This is evidence of a living king, a living kingdom. And as we look out, it says this kingdom is coming. This kingdom is coming. There's a rustling of the dry bones that are rising up. There's a mighty army that's rising up. There's evidence. We scattered. You know what I'm saying? We come together. We come together as an even greater example, right? So that's an even greater example. And he says that we're known by our fruit and we're known by our love. So when we come together, we're supposed to really be making some noise. Hey, Shalom family. I wanted to do this video as a follow-up to the last video where I talked about being in exile and how we have to forsake the world to inherit the earth and inheriting the kingdom of YAH. So there were 2 comments that were left on that video, and there were 2 separate comments, but they tied together in my mind. And I wanted to just do this quick video to kind of make that connection. So one comment was talking about just referred to the ground in the Hebrew word for ground, which is Adamah, and the word for man is Adam, and the word for ground is Adamah. You read Genesis 2, it talks about how man was taken out of the ground. Adam came from Adamah. So there's that connection between the man, the flesh of man, and the earth, right? We know that Yah took us from the earth, but then he breathed life into us. He breathed the breath of life into us and gave us that the immaterial part of our existence, right? He breathed life into us. So when we die, our flesh goes back to the earth. Adam goes back to Adamah, right? So so that was one comment. Just brought out the thought of Adamah and Adam. And there was another comment that talked about the kingdom, recapping the last video, but it just talked about a little bit how we are without a kingdom domain right now. And I left a comment on that, just expounding a little bit more, that we it's not that we are without a kingdom domain, but it's that the kingdom that we are, the kingdom that we have inherited is not yet externalized on this earth, right? So right now it's an internal process that we're going through. So the kingdom, Yahusha has won back dominion, right? He's been given power and authority. He's put that back. That has been placed in his hands, and he is the king of Yah's kingdom, right? He is the one who is the inheritor, right? He's inherited the kingdom, right? And we are co-heirs with him, right? But this has not been externalized on the earth yet, right? As a physical kingdom, but this kingdom is fully operating right now in the spiritual realm, and that we have received a deposit of the set apart spirit, right? And all that is that attaches us to the Shamayim, to heaven, to the kingdom of Yah, to the mind of Yah, to the mind of Christ, Mashiach, Messiah. Messiah means anointed one. Anointed with what? The oil. The oil of what? The spirit, right? So the spirit of Yah, the mind of Mashiach, the spirit of Yah, we have received that deposit, and it gives us access to the kingdom and all that comes from the kingdom, and all that comes from the spirit of Yah, all of the gifts of the spirit, the fruit of the spirit, right? All that comes along with the spirit, we have been given access to that. Through our spiritual practices, we are able to commune with the Most High Yah and receive from the spirit in order to walk in this world that we are walking in, right? So that we can be in the world and not of the world. We are of the kingdom, and we are ambassadors of that kingdom. We are ambassadors of the kingdom of Yah. So as we walk in the earth, we have not yet been given dominion. So what does that mean? Yahusha as king, and the kingdom of Yah, and the kingdom laws, and the kingdom principles, and the kingdom dominion has not been it is not, the time has not yet come for it to dominate and destroy every other contrary kingdom and to set up shop here on the earth. That time has not yet come. In the meantime, the Most High is gathering his army, right? He's gathering the citizens of the kingdom. Who's going to inherit this kingdom? Right now, it's an open invitation to who would inherit this kingdom, right? So as we each individually come and receive the Messiah, and receive of his spirit, receive the kingdom, be brought back into right standing as sons in the house and citizens of the kingdom, right? We become possessors of that, and we become ambassadors of the kingdom to as we walk in the fruit of that of the spirit and of that kingdom, and it becomes a reality within us. We go out into this world as ambassadors, as strangers and foreigners here in exile, and ambassadors to be able to extend the invitation to others, right? And we're spreading the aroma of the kingdom, and those who do not resonate with this world and who are seeking, they will smell the aroma, they will see the light of the kingdom of heaven, and they will be drawn to that light, right? They will desire that light. They will want to seek after the light of the kingdom, that aroma. They will want to come into it. So we are ambassadors, helping to collect those who would be of the kingdom, and serving as a witness for the kingdom. It will be a witness for those who would like to, who are called to come into it, and a witness against those who are being presented with it and who within their own conscience reject it, right? So it's a smell of stench to some, and it's the aroma of life to others, right? But either way, whether we're rejected or received, it is the kingdom of YAH, right, that is extending that ministry to reconcile people back to YAH, back to the kingdom, back to the house, back to life, back to light, back to his love, right? So while we don't have dominion in this, as far as our kingdom being on the earth, we do have dominion over. We don't have dominion over Adamah, the ground, right? Over what's going on in the land, but we have dominion over Adam, over our being. So we cause our own being to submit. We lay Adam down on the altar so that the spirit can live within us, right? So we put our life down in this earth so that the spirit can live and thrive, and the kingdom can be externalized, right? So we want the kingdom of YAH. So the kingdom of YAH is living within us, and it's an internal process that's taking place, right? It's an internal reality that's going on, but it becomes externalized within the realms of in the domains that we have been given influence over, right? So when I go work for a company, I don't have dominion over that company, right? I don't have dominion over the company. However, when I enter into the space, being an ambassador, I'm representing the kingdom of YAH while I am within that domain of influence. So I have the opportunity to influence those that are in that domain, even though I can't go in and overthrow and say, we're not going to do this way, we're doing it according to the kingdom way, but I can control what I do within it, and I can operate according to the kingdom way, and that may result in a change. It may result in me getting fired. So either way it goes, you come as a witness either to make a change in some situations, or you come as a witness to be a martyr for the kingdom. Whatever the case may be, that is our responsibility in the earth. But when the king comes, the king is going to overthrow every physical thing and put it under the rule of the kingdom of heaven. That time is coming. So both of those realities are valid, right? So something that happens in New Age that I've noticed. So you have your New Age that deals with just witchcraft and just whatever. But then you have some of those who deal with they talk about Christ consciousness, right? You hear about that. And I talked about in another video how the Most High's truth is scattered all over the place, and people kind of take the parts that they resonate with or that they like, and they discard the parts that they don't like, that they don't want, right? So there are people who talk about Christ consciousness, and they talk about ascending, and they talk about these different spiritual realities, right? And a lot of what they will say will have truth in it, right? Will have accuracy. Yes, we are in the process of taking on the mind of Christ, right? Taking on the mind of Messiah, taking on, we're growing in putting off the flesh and growing in spiritual maturity, right? To become more like the Mashiach. These are realities, right? That, a lot of them will embrace the scriptures even, and talk about that. But here's where it gets missed. There's an internalization of these spiritual realities, right? But they reject the literal externalization of the kingdom of the Messiah, the kingdom of YAH, right? So they'll say, there was a Moses, ascended the mountain, to meet with the Most High. They'll say that didn't happen literally. That was just talking about the process of ascension that we go through. So they're missing it. They're missing it because they're receiving the spiritual truth of it, but they're rejecting the narrative. They're rejecting the actual narrative that's saying, that these things actually happened, that there actually is a covenant that YAH has made. There's actually a creator that's in communication with us and has made covenants with man, and that has and that Messiah actually came and actually died and actually ascended literally, and that he's actually going to return to externalize this physical, literal kingdom on the earth, right? To bring this spiritual reality into a physical reality on this earth, right? That part is discarded, right? It just wants to keep you in this spiritual realm that lacks accountability, right? That will keep you in the realm of being only Adam that's going to go back and meet Adamah, the ground, and never having connected to a safe space spiritually. The only safe space spiritually is within the covenant of YAH, right? You have to be in covenant with the Creator to be in a safe space. You can be spiritual all you want to in all kinds of spiritualities, but if you're not within the covenant of the Creator, within that relationship, that agreement that he has, then you're just out there, right? So they reject the literal narrative of the scriptures, right? So, but they will talk about this internal process, but reject the externalization of the kingdom. So we receive the whole picture, right? And sometimes in a lot of believers, spiritual believers, scriptural believers, will fall short when it comes to the spiritual aspect of it, right? We'll look at the Messiah and we say, he's coming back one day, and we just point to him. He came one day and he died. He's coming one day again, and we miss the spiritual maturity that we're supposed to come into as being in him and being sons, right? Being made into the image. He came and surrendered to his process, right? And went through the process to become who he is. We have to go through that same process, right? We have to allow our flesh to die. We have to allow our mind to be conformed to the mind of Messiah, to the spirit. We have to allow ourselves to come into YAH's wisdom, YAH's understanding in all matters, in all things. We forget that we're ambassadors, and we find ourselves synchronizing with the world and blending into the world and becoming a part of everything that the world is, and we are seemingly either ignorant of the fact that we're supposed to, or afraid to stand out, stand back, be set apart, be separate. And when you see somebody from a foreign country, particularly in the East, right, they will come and they will have their they will be representing whatever is their culture, right? So if in their culture they don't shake hands, they're not going to come over here and start shaking hands. If they wear a certain kind of garment, they're going to come over here wearing the garment that they wear. They are going to, they will operate within our system, right? But they are representing theirs. They're representing their government, right? So we tend to just take on everything. If that was us, whatever our garments are, we taking it off. We putting on an American suit. We taking off whatever. We don't shake hands, okay, but we shaking hands today. Whatever it is, we tend to give into the mixture, right? We give into this mixture, and we just become a part of this culture. And we're not called. We're called to be countercultural. We're called to be set apart. So, but in order to show up set apart, we have to live set apart every day. We have to be set apart in our minds. We have to allow the Most High to take us through that process of being sanctified, set apart, and being renewed and being made into the image of the Messiah, and truly dying to our flesh. Truly dying to our flesh. I went to a church a long time ago, and we used to have this sign on the back that said, "Lord, teach me to die." And people would come in and they'd be like, "This is a cult." Because you don't hear that teaching a lot, where we're supposed to die. We're supposed to be a living sacrifice, right? Where our flesh dies, but we're living, right? So even though we're still living, we're living as if our flesh is dead, and we're allowing the Spirit and all of the fruit of the Spirit, all of the principles of the Spirit, all of the, we're continually conforming to His word in all matters, and how we conduct our life, how we conduct ourselves to be representatives of Him, right? So that is our responsibility. That is our, we are stewards over Adam, to cause Adam to submit to the Spirit and to walk in that dominion. So we have dominion over this land right here. This land of our mind, our heart, this land of our body, this land right here is where we have dominion. And Mashiach, the mind, the Spirit of Yah, rules this right here. And as we do that, everywhere we go, we're externalizing and bringing the kingdom, right? What the Messiah said when he went around, the kingdom of Yah is at hand. The kingdom of Yah is at hand. The kingdom of Yah is at hand. When we go about, is the kingdom of Yah at hand, right? Is the kingdom of Yah at hand, right? So it has to be at hand within us, and then it will be at hand as we go, right? The kingdom of Yah is at hand, because the kingdom of Yah is within us, and even though the kingdom, and we're sending that warning out, so that people know that the kingdom is coming. Right? We are representatives, and we're proof, we're evidence of a living king. We are evidence of a living king, right? They don't want to believe that He existed. They don't want to believe that He ascended and that He's alive. We are supposed to be the evidence. People are supposed to be fearful when they see us, like in a reverent fear of, this is evidence. like this cat is not dead, right? This is evidence of a living king, a living kingdom. And as we look out, it says this kingdom is coming. This kingdom is coming. There's a rustling of the dry bones that are rising up. There's a mighty army that's rising up. There's evidence. We scattered. You know what I'm saying? We come together. We come together as an even greater example, right? So that's an even greater example. And he says that we're known by our fruit and we're known by our love. So when we come together, we're supposed to really be making some noise by the love that we have for each other as a witness of a different kingdom and how a different kingdom operates. Because, the world, the love of many is growing cold, but we're supposed to be a fire, a mighty fire in the midst of this earth that is showing the proof that there's a living Elohim, there's a living power, there's a living mighty one, there's a living Yah that is empowering a people to live contrary to the culture around them, right? So we are the evidence of a living king, a living kingdom that's coming, and we're making a noise, and we are the battle axe, we are the sound, we are the beating drum, we are the sound of a kingdom coming, right? So we have to make that sound in the earth. Right, we are that aroma. You ever smell somebody coming? We had a principal in middle school, and she wore white diamond, and you could smell her, before as soon as she got on the floor of whatever level of the building we're in, as soon as she stepped out of the stairway, you could smell her all the way down the hallway, and it's like, oh, Miss Whitfield's coming. She's coming. You get ready. So the earth should smell like, man, it's a kingdom that's coming. Instead, we as a people, we are cowering at the world and the agendas of the world. We spend all of our time looking at what the world is doing and talking about what the world is doing and all of their agendas. Oh, what are they doing? All of the market of the beast. All of this, all these things that are coming. All the banks going there. We spend all of our time focused on the fear of their kingdom growing even more into this beast system that's already been here. Okay. It's all this stuff has already been in operation. The mark and the beast, all this stuff is already, we've been in the midst of it, right? So, but we spend all of our time looking at what they're doing and what their governments and what their politics are doing, and what, we spend all of our time looking at their kingdom and in awe of what's going on and wonder of what's going on, instead of us focusing on the kingdom of heaven and allowing that to grow, and them looking like, well, what's going on? What's going on? They should be wondering at what's going on, right? So we have to tap into our role and get into our lane so that we are making the noise of the kingdom, right? Because the kingdom is coming. And those who are enlisted, right? Those who are in the covenant, in the house, those who are the children will inherit the Father's estate, right? So you got to come in the house. You got to come in the house and learn of the house rules and the house system and how the house runs, and become one with your siblings, and not continually causing division amongst the siblings because you don't like how they say the name, and you don't like how they do this, and you don't like that they don't know that. You're causing divisions amongst the siblings instead of coming in and becoming one with the house, within the house, right? And learning of the kingdom so that we can be prepared and ready and dressed in our garments for when the king comes, so that we can enter in and we can rule and reign with the Messiah. That's our promise. That's what we've inherited, right? So rule and reign now. Rule and reign in your mind. Rule and reign in every domain of your life, every domain that you've been given, right? Allow the kingdom to reign in the midst of your trials. We're going through trials. We're being tested. We're being refined. It's a refining tool for us, right? The enemy wants to destroy us, but the Most High has already declared that he's refining us, right, and making us even better, right? So we have to tap into the kingdom so that we're being made better. We have to tap into the kingdom in the spirit. We got to tap into the spirit and tap into the word of YAH so that we're being made better and strengthened and shining and becoming more of a light, so that we're glowing, so that we are embodying the wisdom of the kingdom, that we're taking on understanding. We have to come into understanding so that we're not shaken by the things of this world. The world is shaking us. We have to come out of the place where we're allowing the world to shake us and our circumstances to shake us, and that we tap into the kingdom. Our flesh, let it die and tap into the kingdom. Hallelujah. So I'm speaking this word of encouragement to myself and to you all, family, and I pray that you are encouraged by the spirit of YAH. YAH bless you. Be blessed in the name of the Messiah, Yeshua, and continue to rise in spirit and in truth. Continue to endure in faith, truth, and love of the Most High YAH. Hallelujah. Shalom, shalom.